the Bradley effect has been on CNN quite a bit. And I did not know this when I wrote the topic, but CNN has not called me yet to, to ask for my expert opinion on it. But during the New Hampshire primary, where Hillary Clinton and Obama were running against each other, and Obama was ahead in the polls by 12 percentage points. And Hillary won New Hampshire. And immediately I saw a lot on the news about the Bradley effect, and I didn't know too much about it, so I looked into it. And it basically stemmed from Bradley that was in California, who was running, and he was an African-American gentleman. He was running against somebody that was white, and they said that he was definitely going to win. The newspaper printed, you know, Bradley wins by long shot. And it was not true. He lost. And it was because they based the newspaper on exit polls. And basically they said a lot of people who were considering themselves liberal and supporting Bradley came out and said, yes, I voted for him, but in their privacy they did not vote for him because they were concerned of having a black person in that position. So, like I said, it's timely. I did not know that when I did this, but it made me think of a research that I conducted on diversity in Northeast Ohio Montessori schools, so I framed it in that instead. So basically, with the Bradley effect, there is a supposed desire, but it somehow does not equal the reality of it. The diversity movement as it stands right now, on the left side is just different quotes from places in Northeast Ohio that, can you guys see, am I in your way? From different university, independent schools, diversity in their statement, their mission statement, they say shall strive toward excellence, which requires a strong commitment to diversity. Our goal is to establish an appropriate match between the family and the school while also considering diversity and gender balance within each class. And over 90% believe diversity is important. Looney in 1992 published something that says there's factors to ensure diversity, narrowed it down to 3 different factors: to aggressive recruitment, supportive environment, adequate financial support. However, Brayboy and Iverson recently published works that said the current state of diversity in different schools, and this ranges from independent schools, any place, a school that can really create their environment. So some schools can't create their environment is because it's based upon location, but a lot of private schools can't create their environment. And in respect to diversity, there's feelings of marginalization, illusions of colorblindness, and a lack of retention due to finances. So, enter Larissa into education. I graduated from Case and with an international studies degree, and I knew I wanted to go into education. And Montessori was something that appealed to me because of quotes like this. Let us give a vision of the whole universe, for all things are a part of the universe and are connected with each other to form one whole unity. It asserts the importance of viewing the world as an interrelated system in which each culture and person has important gifts to share. So going into education, being in the Cleveland area, many of the schools are segregated. And I did not want to enter education either working in an all-black community, in an all-white community. It seemed like there was no answer. And I wanted something that really embraced everything. So I thought Montessori was the answer to this because of quotes like this. So I went through my training, became a certified Montessori teacher, and the first place I worked was a school that was on the inner ring of suburbs of Cleveland. And it was an all-black school that had no racial diversity, had many of the same problems as Cleveland public schools. There were times where we didn't have adequate funding. We were waiting on money, our paychecks were late, things, just a lot of financial issues, things like that. So it really wasn't working for me because my car insurance place did not care about my my vision to help children. So then I went to a school that was in the suburb, and it was the exact epitome of what you would expect in a suburban school. There was no diversity, all white, all the median income was, 40,000 higher than what I experienced in the other school. And I said, wait a minute, the reason why I went into Montessori is because it was supposed to create an environment that is represented in these quotes, and it was not. So I was in a perplexing situation. Long story short, took time off, I have 3 children, blah, 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 blah. This really did not enter my mind again until I was looking for a preschool for my children. And then when I went to Montessori because I really liked it. And again, the environment that we were in, mostly white, the school was exactly that. So the diversity in that school was my children, and that was it. So when I had an opportunity when I was in my master's program to do a research, I decided to look at this closer to see, was this just my experience, or was this something that was in all Montessori schools in Northeast Ohio? So I identified 55 schools that were considered Montessori, and the criterion was that they were implementing the Montessori method as their main curriculum, and they were located in Northeast Ohio. I sent out 55 surveys, and I received 37 back. And if I didn't receive them back, I called them and asked them to do it over the phone with me. In the survey, it included demographic information, the location, and the racial breakdown, and a Likert scale that was very simplistic. I'll show you on here. And just a series of open-ended questions to see if they believe that diversity was important to Montessori and if that was translating to their school implementation of their policies. So on a scale of 1 to 5, I averaged all the responses. 4.4 said the Montessori philosophy places a high value on racial diversity. So most people agree with that. Also, same 4.4, our school places a high value on racial diversity. As you see, the numbers decline though. Our school actively recruits enrollment, 3.4, and then our school actively recruits minority enrollment, 2.8. The first question I asked that was open-ended was, in your own words, please describe your school's view on diversity. Important, we embrace it, main theme of school. We welcome our children to our program and believe that we give children a firm foundation to function in a multicultural society. Montessori philosophy supports multiculturalism. And these selections are just a synthesis of all the answers that I received. Do you feel like your school would benefit from more diversity? Absolutely. We need to represent the society as a whole and make the environment more true to life. Yes, I feel our school and staff would greatly benefit with more of a diverse enrollment. It would be more exposure for classmates of culture. Yes, our area has many cultural groups. We like to have a more culturally diverse population effective on the overall population. The third question, what specific activities, if any, are implemented to assure diversity, either enrollment or employment? We have a contract with OJFS and offer limited financial assistance. We offer an afternoon Spanish immersion class, preschool fairs in all areas, none, and advertisement word of mouth. And a lot of these questions are open-ended. I received the most response when it dealt with Montessori in general, and then when it got down to their school, less and less responses. So they just left it blank. In your opinion, what factors, if any, do you feel may keep some minority parents from enrolling their children in your school? Financial reasons, lack of active enrollment, recruitment, lack of knowledge of what Montessori is, little diversity near our location, costs, transportation, little advertisement. We offer half-day programs and no daycare for working families, and distance to school. And I brought a few copies of my paper, and I can send, if I don't have enough, I can send you a copy. But basically in my paper, I analyzed it, just each school by their location and by their demographics. And urban basically meant less white students enrolled, and private meant less non-white students enrolled. So anytime that there was a factor of money and location, that decreased the diversity. So indeed, the supposed desire that Montessori schools do want diversity is not somehow equaling the reality of it. So, and as you saw in question 4, many of the schools knew what the problems were. They didn't, it was too costly, it was the location, blah, 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 but they weren't doing anything to actively address those issues. Where do we go from here? This goes back to the one slide where it was Looney and Iverson and Brayboy, and I think just addressing a lot of those issues. If you are committed to diversity, then really put your money where your mouth is. Commit to diversity. Look at all dimensions of diversity and get to the heart of the matter. through effective training and really believing in the benefits of diversity within your school.